Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Here to teach the Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians that we are the true Jews of the Bible. And tonight is the Wednesday night biblical law class, where we go into the Bible and teach our people the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and how important it is to keep and do these things and apply them to our life. This is our wisdom and our knowledge of the Most High. And it was given only to the children of Israel, not to the whole world. So tonight we're going to go into some scriptures and prove how important the law is to us to keep. And that it is a commandment from God that we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and do not break them. And if we do, we will be punished. And this is why the children of Israel are in so much hardship in the world today, because we are not keeping the Most High law, statutes, and commandments. So we're going to go into Deuteronomy 4:1 first to get a clear understanding of how important it is for us to keep these laws. You got that?
Come on. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1. Now therefore hearken.
What?
Now therefore hearken.
Hearken means to listen. Listen to these words. Go ahead.
O Israel.
Israel is us, Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, not the whole world. He's not talking to the whole world, but to the Israel, the Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Read.
Unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you.
This is Moses giving the children of Israel the law. Go ahead.
For to do them that ye may live.
This is life. When you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, this is life. This is how you live a good life. This is how you get a full life from the Most High. Your life won't be cut short if we learn to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
And go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you.
God's telling us to go in and take over the land that God has given us. Conquer the land and take it over. Drop down to 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
This is Moses saying, behold, I have taught you laws, statutes, and judgments of the Most High. Read.
Even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep going. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
What?
Keep therefore and do them.
This is what Moses is telling us then, and the scriptures are telling us now. We're supposed to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and do them. Apply them to our life, not get rid of them like the Christian church will have you believe that you're supposed to do. Read that again.
Keep therefore, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and this is your wisdom.
This is your wisdom. This is how you'll be a wise man, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The children of Israel are wise men, because we're the only people in the world that have the law. I'm saying this is why we don't run wild like the other nations. I'm saying the other nations don't have the law. They were never given the law because they are not God's chosen people. God only deal with one people, and that's the children of Israel. And we're going to bring that out in the scriptures to let you know that God only deals with the children of Israel and not the whole world. Read.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
When you have this wisdom and understanding of the Most High, in sight of the other nations, you are a wise man. They know that we are wise people. You know what I'm saying? And they know they have to deal with us very cautiously of how they deal with us, because we are wise people. So your wisdom is the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
This is saying what I just said. When they see us and know that we are under the laws and keeping these laws, that we are wise and understanding people. So I'm saying the white man and the African man, they do some wild things to let you know in the sight, in your sight, they are despicable, disgusting people. And you see that all on the YouTube, the TV shows, the wicked things that they do in life. It's always been like that because they never was given a law. The Black, Hispanic, Native Indians are good people because we have the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? We understand what is right and wrong. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 7.
Yeah, go ahead. Read.
For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them?
This is what our nation said. This is a great nation that have God near them. They can tell God is with us because of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we have. I'm saying other laws. Go ahead.
As the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for. Verse 8. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law?
Nobody else have this. We are the only ones. This is why the Albanesians know that we are a righteous and strong people. Go ahead.
Which I set before you this day.
That's it. But this was Moses giving the law, statutes, commandments to the children of Israel after the 400 years of slavery that they served in Egypt. And he is telling us, once he got the laws from the Most High, that he is giving them to us to obey this law, keep them. And the other nations will respect and acknowledge that we are a wise people. You know what I'm saying? So we must learn that these laws is our wisdom. Without keeping these laws, we are a wild man, just like the white man. You know what I'm saying? If you look out in the streets today and see the people that's not paying attention to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, whether it be our people or anybody, they are always doing something wicked, in trouble, dying. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not applying these laws to their life. So we must realize how important it is to keep the law of the Most High. The law was never to be done away with like the Christian church teach you. You know what I'm saying? The Christian church tell you that the laws are done away with because this is the only reason the white man has this power in the world today.
Right.
Because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
Right.
But if we come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, we will take the kingdom back. And the white man will eventually vanish off the face of the earth because of the law that we keep. So once again, the most important gift that God ever gave man, woman, and child is these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? We need to realize that without this law, we're actually living like a wild animal. This law is the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. And we need to apply this to our life because it was taken from us in slavery. This is why the Christian church will tell you that the laws are done away with and will have you do everything against the Bible. But if you read for yourself, like Scripture says, study to show yourself approved, you will see that the law, statutes, and commandments was never to be done away with. So we need to come out of the Christian church stop listening to Pastor Porkchop telling us a bald-faced lie.
Right.
To help further destroy us as a nation, to make us just as wicked as every other nation out here. So we need to realize who are the false prophets. And the damn sure ain't the Isupk.
Right.
We are the men of the Lord, and we speak the truth because we speak the words that coming out of the Bible. We're not speaking out of our own heart like the Christian church. So give me a Psalms 147. We're going to go ahead for a minute. We're going to step out. Go ahead for a minute to prove that the law was given to us. And the earth is suffering because we didn't do our job. It's our duty to teach this law to the other nations, to our people, and to the other nations. But since we didn't step up to the plate, we fell following the other nations, the Most High took this law, took our gifts and gave them to another nation. Go ahead, read.
Start verse 1.
147:19.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Who?
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Who's Jacob?
The forefather, our forefather, Jacob later his name was turned to Israel. That's what.
Who is Jacob?
Our forefather.
Jacob was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? This is our father. You know what I'm saying? He's the father of the children of Israel, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go ahead, read it again from the top.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
He only showed the word, the law, statutes, and commandments was only given to the children of Israel. It was never given to the other nations. This is why they do so many wild and disgusting and unlawful things. Go ahead.
Verse 20. He have not dealt so with. He have not dealt so.
We're going to show you that Christian church is a goddamn lie by telling you God loved everybody. God did not love everybody, and he did not deal with everybody. He did not deal with everybody. He only cared for and loved the lost 12 tribes of Israel, which is the Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian. The 12 lost tribes of Israel. His chosen people. Read again.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 20.
And some of you that don't have these scriptures or know these scriptures, you need to write these scriptures down. It's Psalms 147, 19 through 20. And the first one was Deuteronomy 4:1, then 5 through 8. So now we're in Psalms 147, 19 through 20. Read that again.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 20. He have not dealt so with any nation.
What?
He has not dealt so with any nation.
So there's 18 nations in the world. Children of Israel, one nation. There's 17 other nations out here. He dealt with none of the other 17 nations. He only dealt with the one nation, children of Israel. Read.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
What?
They have not known them.
So the other nations do not know his laws, statutes, and judgments. They don't know his commandments. They don't keep them. They don't know his law or his judgments because it was never given to them. This is why they do the wildest and corrupt things on the earth way more than us. You know what I'm saying? This is why every time you find a serial killer roaming in the world, the first thought of who it may be is a white man. When they felt the DC sniper, everybody was amazed that it was a black man.
Right.
Just knew it was a white man doing all this killing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not our way of life. But we don't get out like that. We're not that kind of people. And if a person of our people doing that, it's because he was around or mistreated or following the white man. You know what I'm saying? Just like today, you have a lot of us following the white man in different cultures and way of life. You know what I'm saying? That's not us. Because that's what we always, since we are lost people, we don't know who we are. We don't know how we're supposed to be. So we follow it and clamping on to everybody else's culture. You know what I'm saying? Want to be Islam and Christians and Christianity come from the white man and Islam come from the white man. Yeah, that's not our customs or culture. It's not our style. It's not how we roll. But we lost, so we don't know what way to go. But the way to go is in this Bible. The Most High is telling us who we are in this Bible. And the reason we don't know because we don't study the Bible. So we think we're Christians and whatever the white man calls us. But we are the children of Israel. Read that again.
Psalm chapter 147, verse 20. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Our nation don't understand these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why we look like wise men when we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments in the other nation. Try that to give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15.
Ready for it?
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Say it again.
See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
A lot of people want to make the Bible complicated. It's pretty much black and white. It's easy to understand these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why the Most High said, the duty of man is to fear me and keep my commandments. And my commandments aren't grievous, meaning my commandments aren't hard. You know what I'm saying? Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
It's plain as it said. Do good, you live a good life. You live. Do evil, you die. This is why so many of our brothers that choose to do evil in the streets, following behind the customs of the other nations, particularly the white man, they are dying at a rapid rate in the streets. All our kids following behind a white man, trying to be an American gangster, trying to be a drug dealer, jumping in homosexuality and
Right.
robbing and stealing and, you know what I mean, doing what the other nation, they see the other nation do. And the white man is the main lawbreaker. He loves to do these things. He promoted in movies and music. You know what I'm saying? He set people on top of us, what you really call taskmasters, to teach us to go against the Most High and break his laws. You know what I'm saying? They pay them a couple dollars, but they really are sellouts. You know what I'm saying? When you see a brother telling us as a people to run and get high, to use cocaine, marijuana, and heroin, like it's something good to do. He is doing that because the white man is paying him to do that. If he tried to talk about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments in his music, he wouldn't have a record deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He do that because he is a puppet for the white man. The same goes for the preachers that's in the church. They don't teach you the law and tell you that the law was never done away with. They don't teach you that it's a sin to be a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach you that it's a sin to be a drug dealer because they are getting paid to keep the children of Israel down. You know what I'm saying? And we as a people, we need to come back to this law and realize right from wrong by studying the word of the Most High. Got a question?
It's like, and what you're saying is so heavy, like you saying, like these laws, statutes, and commandments give us wisdom. And it's like, I feel like everybody else catch up to it late because they got to go through it. But when we read it, we just follow. We ain't got to go through certain things. Because I was watching the interview with David Banner, and like he was just saying, he said the same thing. There's a lot of A&Rs out here who will not sign a rapper unless he's talking about killing, unless he's talking about popping pills, unless he's talking about murdering.
That's what it's for. That they want, just like the preacher, they want them to mislead the people.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? They know children and young men that ain't living right or don't have these laws, it's easy to be influenced.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? So they'll tell them to say certain things in their rhymes and music and movies, you know what I'm saying, to further keep us down and away from the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know how back in the day, you used to hear rap, used to be good rap, I mean, fight the power, and, you know what I'm saying? Just positive music back in the day. You know what I mean? To help people pull together. You know what I mean? Be strong and all that. You know what I'm saying? Black power and all that. But they changed all that. Now you can't do none of that if you want to make some money in the game.
Come on, come.
In a rap game, you got to be a wicked brother. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, come.
That's how the preachers are today in the church. They are paid, and people study to manipulate people. You know what I'm saying? And make them feel good, and just to get that money out of that pocket. Because that's all church is a place, is a club.
Come on,
You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing you're going to learn the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. They give you one verse out of the Bible, and then the rest of the song and dance, and a lot of screaming and chanting and dancing and stomping and a bunch of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But the children of Israel are supposed to be in class, not school. No, not church. You know what I'm saying? Not church. We are the church. You know what I'm saying? And we're supposed to be in class studying the Word of God, not dancing. You'll never see Isupk in here singing songs and dancing.
Come on, come.
You know what I'm saying? We got songs we play, but that ain't what it's about. You know what I'm saying? We definitely we'll play before the class start, and it's all people that's singing. I mean, well, rapping the songs, but we'll never be in here as a choir chanting and jumping up and down like a fool singing a song. School is strictly to be teaching our people to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and to be the chosen people that God chose us to be. So we need to come back to that as a people. One more time, let me read it again.
Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil.
Go ahead.
Verse 16. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments.
Walking in the Most High ways is keeping his law. This is how you walk in the Most High footsteps. You know what I'm saying? This is why Christ came. When he did come, he showed us how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. All he was about was showing his people, which are blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, how to keep the laws of God. Read that one again.
Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 16. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply.
You will live a long life and multiply. You will live long. You won't die because you're out here getting high and polluting your body, smoking cigarettes, marijuana, dope and coke. You know what I'm saying? You will live a strong life, a full life, because you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and know that it's a sin to do those things. You know what I'm saying? But follow behind these other nations, we're going to break the laws and shorten our lifespan. If we keep these laws, we will live a long life and multiply like the Most High said. Go ahead.
And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
When you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, this is how you get blessed. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got a job or you got a new car or something, that's not God blessing you. You know what I'm saying? We think that God is in something that he has nothing to do with. He cares less about what job you have or what car you have. What he cares about is you keep these laws, statutes, commandments. I mean, he judges you on whether you're doing that or not. So we got to realize that the Christian churches is just mystifying everything by making us think God is places that He's not. You know what I'm saying? Making us think that we're gonna be places that we will never go. You know what I'm saying? But it's not some great hard thing to figure out. If we jump into the Bible, we'll realize what's going on, what's right and wrong. I'm saying, because it's right here in front of us. We just got to read it. We got to be taught how to understand this Bible. Any more on that? Where you at?
Lies, sir.
Where you at?
Verse 16. Deuteronomy 30 and 16.
Go ahead.
I'm at the end of it. You want me to go to 17?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 17. But if thine heart turn away.
What?
But if thine heart turn away.
This is what happened to the children of Israel, man. Our hearts turned away from the Most High. How we do that? By not keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. You're not with the Most High if you're not keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. You eat pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp, you turn away from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? If you smoke weed or cigarettes and do any of the foul things that the Most High told you not to do, breaking His law, you turn away from the Most High. So realize that the Bible is telling you not to do these things. It's a commandment. Read that again.
But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away, and worship other gods and serve them. This
is what we did. We were drawn away by the other nations. We latched on to what they did and what they was doing, and we were drawn away. You know what I'm saying? And we served other gods by going into Christianity and Islam and all the other wicked religions that God never gave us. You know what I'm saying? The problem ain't us, the problem is religion. We need to realize the mistakes that we made against the Most High and come back and keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. Read that again from the top right there.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 17. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away, and worship other gods and serve them.
So this is what we do when you hear a brother read these scriptures to you, and you turn away, and you don't hear, because you're so used to doing what the white man told you to do, eating crab, pork, lobster, and shrimp. Of course, you might ain't know that it was a sin to break these laws, but now you hear it for yourself in the Bible. And this is why I tell you to write down these scriptures and read for yourself, so you can see with your own eyes that we are not supposed to break the Most High's laws. We're supposed to keep them. Go ahead.
Verse 18. I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish.
He's letting you know that you will perish breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. I'm saying we need to understand how serious it is for us to keep these laws. This is our gift. This is our wisdom. I'm saying, meaning that if you knew better, you should do better. And God gave us these laws for us to do better. If you kick these laws to the curb like the white man that Christian church tells us to do, you will not do better. You will be punished. And this is why we are strung out on drugs and filling the jail cells and the graveyards up, man. It's so sick because we forgot the Most High law, statutes, and commandments. Every disease that you get is from us breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So all the bad that's in your life, it comes from breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Every brother that's in jail that broke the law is dead because he broke the law. You know what I'm saying? We need to realize that. And some of them, even some that's dead, that's innocent, is dead because they displeased the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We need to realize how the Most High is angry and how he feels about us disrespecting His law. Read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 18. I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land.
So you won't live a long life. You will die at an early age like so many brothers doing in the streets today because they forgot this law. So, go ahead.
Whither thou goest, whither thou passeth over the Jordan to go to possess it.
Go ahead, read.
Verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing.
So I'm saying life is law. Death is breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. This is how you receive the curse. Go ahead.
Therefore, choose life.
What?
Therefore, choose life.
Meaning what? Keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. This is your life. Go ahead.
That both thou and thy seed may live.
If you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, how will you teach your kid? Your kid will definitely follow behind you in everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? When you got two women raising a kid, 9 times out of 10, the kid will grow up a homosexual too. When you got a parent that's smoking weed and getting high and smoking cigarettes in front of their kids, the kids will grow up doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a righteous man or woman in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, practicing how to love the Most High and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that He gave us, your kid will want to do that too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to be leaders for our people, man. This is why the scriptures say our seed die too, because we killing our seed and we're killing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We need to realize right from wrong. Let me get Romans 6 and 23.
Right.
Go ahead.
Romans chapter 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
What?
For the wages of sin is death.
What's another word for wages?
Penalty.
Yeah, this one is word better than that. How about payment? The payment.
Okay.
The payment for sin is death. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So when we sin against the Most High, we die. You know what I'm saying? When we smoke cigarettes, your cancer die at early age. You could have lived much longer if you kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You get cancer, you sleep with another man's wife and catch diseases or rather kill you. You could have lived a long life if you never slept with that man's wife. Well, man, you sleep with another brother's wife, that's adultery. But our people don't know that because the Christian church don't teach these things. You know what I'm saying? Sex is marriage to God, no matter what. Nobody tell you in the world. Sex is marriage to God. It's not a such thing of a girlfriend, somebody, or boyfriend, somebody that you can break up with and get back with, and break up with and get back with. You know what I'm saying? Right. Sex is marriage, and marriage is forever. You will only find that out if you study the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't be led by these false prophets telling you to buy a big ring, walk down the aisle, and divorce somebody when you want to, man. Realize that most times tell us to come out of America and stop following behind these other nations. You know what I'm saying? Realize that sex is marriage. The only law that truly counts is the law of the Most High. So we need to realize that sex is marriage and it's forever. So when you're not supposed to put a woman away or a man away. You know what I'm saying? It's to death. You know what what I'm saying? Only way a man can get rid of a woman is if she take another rod and has sex with another person. You know what I'm saying? The only way a woman can leave a man is if he died. So these laws, man, we don't understand, don't know, and we constantly making these mistakes, and we're angry at the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We serve our gods. We listen to another man instead of God. This is how you serve another God. We need to realize we need to come back to these laws, statutes, commandments that's in this Bible and serve the God that chose us. Read that again.
Romans chapter 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life.
The gift of God. The gift that God gave us was the law, statutes, commandments. The greatest gift that God ever gave man, woman, and child was these laws, statutes, and commandments. And when you think about it, it's not hard to figure it out because He's telling you how to get the best life that you can ever get. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how to do that. I mean, and obey and keep His law, statutes, commandments. Let me get on. We're going to give you that's it on that.
Come on.
Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1 real fast.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
if thou shalt listen hard to the voice of the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
To what?
To observe and to do all his commandments.
This is what we're not doing today in these streets, man. We're not paying attention to God, His law, statutes, commandments. But this is the Most High telling us to do it. Read it again. It shall what? And it shall come from the beginning.
So like Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
And this is why the children of Israel is on the bottom, because we are not, as a nation, paying attention to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. I'm saying He's telling you, if you deserve to do all His commandments, that He tell you this day, that He will put us on high. You know what I'm saying? We lost our position on the earth because we sinned against our God by breaking His law, statutes, commandments. So we were put on the bottom. Every nation that is on top of us right now, they are the ones that's running all the businesses, getting all the money, living lavish in luxury cars and big houses. And we doing bad, man, on welfare and projects in the ghettos, strung out on drugs because we on the bottom. Because why? We broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. This is why you got to realize that the law is the most important thing that the Most High ever gave us. This is our life, like you said. You know what I'm saying? This is our strength. This is our everything. But why would the Christian church, if the Christian church was for God and for their people, why would they tell you that the laws are done away with? But you just heard the Most High said to hearken diligently to the word of the Lord thy God, to keep all these commandments. So I'm saying, that lets you know that the Christian church is not of God. It's of the house of Satan. You know what I'm saying? Christianity was given to us in slavery by the white man. These are the same people that burnt the cross on your front and had hoods on their heads that was called the Ku Klux Klan, and dragging their moms and pops out the house and killing them, man.
Right.
So we got to realize who we serve. The law, statutes, and commandments were given to the children of Israel, and the children of Israel are dying because they're not paying attention to the Most High's laws. He said, not some, but all.
So like you saying, this show you that God ain't about equality either, you know.
Yeah, let you know. And he ain't about equality. He cares about his people who chose. You know what I'm saying? He's not for the other world. He said in our scripture that he's thinking of our nations as spittle. You know what I'm saying? That's really, that's spit that's in your mouth. That's what he's thinking of our nations. All through the Bible, man, like God is letting us know he loves us, man. You know what I mean? And love to the Most High is only one thing. Love is that you keep his commandments. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's get that real fast. Huh?
1 John 5 and 3.
Yeah. 1 John 5, 6.
5 and 3.
5 and 3.
I'm gonna
I'm going to show you what love is, just in case you don't know. For the people that's watching and don't know how to love the Most High. You can't just say you love the Most High and that'll be it, man. Because I mean, God said in scriptures that you love me with your mouth, but your heart's far from me. Meaning that you say you love me, but when it comes down to keeping these laws and commandments that I tell you have to do, you won't do. So therefore, you don't love me. You know what I'm saying? You got to realize what is love, and we're ready to show you right now. Read.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God.
Say again.
For this is the love of God.
Go ahead.
That we keep his commandments.
What?
That we keep his commandments.
This is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. Go ahead.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments aren't grievous, meaning they are not hard. So don't think you can't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. This is how you be perfect, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The Christian church will have you believe that can't nobody be perfect. Christ was the only one perfect. There's plenty of brothers in the Bible that was perfect. Job was called perfect by the Most High himself because he kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So we need to do exactly like these scriptures say, man. Read that again.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Okay, so this is how you show love to God. Go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Go ahead and read 2.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Drop down to 15. Now we're going to show you, you just heard God say for us to keep the law, statutes, commandments, and he will bless our life. You know what I'm saying? And in other scriptures we heard that this is life, this is our wisdom, this is our knowledge and understanding. But if you don't keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, which we are not doing as a people, you know what I'm saying, follow behind the white man and these other nations and all these religions that was put forth in front of us, you know what I'm saying, this is what we have. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
you will not listen to the voice of the Lord thy God. Read.
To obey, to observe, to do all his commandments.
To what?
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Some.
All his commandments.
Read.
And his statutes.
Read.
Which I command thee this day.
Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So I'm saying, so he is letting you know that curses will come upon us and overtake us. Curses of being strung out on drugs. Curses of being homeless, on the bottom. Curses of working slavery every day and still can't have enough money to pay your rent, take care of your kids, and live like you're supposed to live in this world. You know what I'm saying? Curses of somebody else sleeping with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Curses of your wife sleeping with another woman. You know what I'm saying? Men sleep with other men. These are curses, man. We are cursed as a people because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Drop that. And give me who was that? You read Romans 6:23?
Come on, come.
Read 1 John 3 and 4.
Live.
Read that. We need to realize how important these laws, statutes, and commandments are, man. This is our life. This is how we live a good life. This is how we be empowered. This is how we show the Most High love. Without these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, we are doomed as a people. And you will see that if you just pay attention to what's going on in the world. We are on the bottom. This is why so many bad things are happening to us as a nation. I'm saying this is why our Puerto Rican brothers are getting treated so bad, because they are the children of Israel. They are our people. You know what I'm saying? And they on the bottom just as well as the black man is on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Got that?
Okay.
Go ahead, read, bro.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin,
What?
whosoever committeth sin,
What?
transgresseth also the law.
What is another word for transgression?
Break.
Yeah, break. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Any more?
Go against or
Yeah, see that. Violate. You know what I'm saying? That's a good word right there. Violating the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We violate the Most High law. Read that again.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
Sin is the breaking of the law. You know what I'm saying? Breaking the law. One more time.
Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
So we need to stop breaking the Most High's laws, because we will constantly keep getting these curses put upon us, man. We are doomed if we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's it on that.
Come on, sir.
Matthew 5 and 17. We're going to show you that, man. Christian church, they love being wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? When you tell a brother to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying, they tell you quick. The first thing they want to say is that the law is done away with. You know what I'm saying? Because they love living a wicked lifestyle, man. They love the lifestyle that they live, man. They love being homosexuals. And, you know what I'm saying? They don't want nobody to tell them that it's a sin. You know what I'm saying? So they say it's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? They love eating pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp. And saying it's okay if you only pray over it. You know what I mean? But it's a sin. You know what I mean? The Most High is telling you that the law is never done away with. You know what I'm saying? They tell you that the law is done away, so they okay to eat the crab, the pork, lobster, and shrimp. Because the wicked pastor pork chop told them it was okay for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? And your Christian churches, they tell you that the laws are done away with, and all you have to do is pray over the food, and God love you as you are, come as you are, and everything good, all good. But it's a lie, man. One side's telling you, man, to love me is to keep my commandments. The opposite of love is hate. So if you're not keeping his commandments, you hate the Most High. Whether you want to tell yourself that or not, the Most High told you what is love. So the opposite of love is hate. So realize that you hate the Most High when you go to church on a Sunday and serve a white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You hate the Most High when you're smoking a cigarette and the Most High told you not to put these things in your body. It's a sin for us to get high. It's a sin for us to lay down with a white woman or man. Being the children of Israel, we have rules. You know what I'm saying? We can't just go doing what we want like the other nations. We have to pay attention to these laws, man. You can't just, as a woman, lay down with a man, decide to leave your husband because of any reason that you come up with. If you read this Bible and do what God said do, hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord thy God, you will realize that sex is forever. Marriage is forever. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go jumping from one man to another because of an attitude. You know what I'm saying? You're killing yourself with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? This is why we're dying. Our sisters are dying. The brothers are dying in the street because we commit adultery. We're breaking all these laws that the Most High told the children of Israel not to break. You know what I'm saying? And these are curses that's coming on us. You know what I'm saying? We got to realize why coming on. I said we got to admit to ourselves that it's really happening and stop running from the truth. You know what I mean? And realize that we can stop it if we come back to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Read.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Think not.
What?
Think not.
Don't get in your mind. Think not. Don't even let it cross your mind. Go ahead.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Think not that I have come to destroy the law. This is Christ saying. This is in red, right?
Come on.
This is in red, God. This is Christ himself speaking to the children of Israel, saying, think not that I have come to destroy the law. Read.
Or the prophets.
Or the what?
Or the prophets.
What do you mean by or the prophets?
The men that he's going to raise up to do his work, to do the will of the Father.
It means that don't think that I come to destroy the law or what the prophets are saying about the law.
Come on.
Everything that the prophets in this Bible are saying about the law is true. You know what I'm saying? And how come? Go ahead and read.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
But what?
But to fulfill.
I'm saying he come to, I'm saying, make it official. I'm saying, like my man Shaka Ward said. I'm saying, Captain Shaka Ward. He make it official. I'm saying, to let you know that what they taught us about the law, statutes, and commandments are real and true. So when your Christian church to teach you this, man, it lets you know right there that the Christian church is the most wicked thing for the Black, Hispanic, and Indians to be in. You need to come out of the Christian church. Stop being lied to by the pastor pork chop, because all he's doing is making you feel good with a song and dance and a practice preach that he's doing to make you come out your pocket so they can continue on buying houses and cars with your money, man. You know what I'm saying? And in the meanwhile, raping your kids in the back, in the offices and stuff, man. We need to realize that. Read that again.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So we need to realize that these scriptures are real, man. Stop denying yourself this truth and find out what the Most High wants you to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't never let nobody tell you that the laws are done away with. You're killing yourself, taking the laws out of your life. You're killing your kids, taking the law out of your life. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have it in you, your kids is not going to have it in them. So we are the teachers of our children. And this is in Matthew 5 and 17. And we're going to stop at 19. Matthew 5, 17 through 19. Write that down, go over it and practice. Take it to your preacher in church, man, and ask them why is he telling you that the laws are done away with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is in the New Testament. So, go ahead and read.
Verse 18. For verily, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle.
So heaven and earth pass. Heaven and earth didn't pass yet. So for no reason, you should have it in your mind that the laws are done away with. So one jot or one tittle, or one dot of an I or a cross of a T. Read.
Shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Shall all be fulfilled, man. So nothing shall pass from the law until the Most High come back, right? You know what I mean? The law is forever. You know what I'm saying? But the Christian church, like I say, man, it's not of God. We need to realize what we're doing and where we're going at, man. Stop worrying about singing a song and a dance, trying to look cute, putting on a big hat, you know what I'm saying? Dropping their money. They got bank machines in the church to let you know that that's what it's about. It's a hustle, man. Stop living a dumb life and realize what you're doing wrong, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, and this also show you that so-called Christians, they supposed to be followers of Christ, but Christ is saying it out his own mouth.
Right.
but yet they still feel like you should not do that. That you should not keep the laws that was done away with. When he's saying it out his own mouth, you know.
This is why he said we love him with our mouth. You say you love me, but I tell you that the laws are not done away with. And you go right behind me and eat pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp. Be homosexuals. Sleep with another man's wife. I mean, sleep around on your husband. How could you say you love me when I told you that love is keeping the commandments? You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to realize, man, and wake up. Being the children of Israel, man, we was given this law for a reason, to use it, not to excuse like it's not ours. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to live like the other nations. We're supposed to pay attention and hearken diligently to this word. Any more?
Verse 19.
Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments,
what?
And shall teach men so.
You can't break the least commandment. You know what I'm saying? And teach another brother to do it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like we do every day. We eat crabs and break the least commandment and teach our kids to eat the same crabs. You know what I'm saying? We teach our kids to do the same thing, the same law that we breaking. We teach our kids to do that. Just so some of us will sit right there and smoke the blunt with our child. You know what I'm saying? We need to realize the mistakes we're making. And we wonder why we're dying at a rapid rate in the streets. Why we on the bottom. Why we can't, nothing happen good for us. You know what I mean? Because we're not paying attention to the Most High. We literally tell the Most High we hate Him. You know what I'm saying? Read it again.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
And this is what the Pastor Pork Chop is doing, teaching men so, because he don't care. You know what I'm saying? He having his habit right now. He loves. He already said he won't be the least. He know these scriptures. He supposed to know these scriptures before anybody. He is the pastor and preacher. You know what I'm saying? But he cool with it. He cool. He get his habit now. That's why he's stealing every bit of money he can get out your grandma's pocketbook. You know what I mean, working your wife to get that money, working you to get that money about your pocket. Because this happens now. This is why he buying planes, cars, and houses with our money, living in luxury buildings and spending all the money and just having a good time, like, you know what I mean? But that's what he's supposed to do, so he's taking his habit now. Read that again.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
This is why you see the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge teaching this law, statutes, and commandments. So I don't know about you. I want to be great in the kingdom. This is why I'm changing my life. This is why I'm following the Most High law, statutes, and commandments to the best of my ability, fighting daily the demons that come upon me to make me break this law. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to break this law. I want to be great in the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? I already know how I feel to be the lowest. Because we being that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and this is one of the scriptures they try to pair with John 3:16. A lot of the Christians, when they say whosoever, because they try to give that to everybody, every nation, to try to say like anybody can serve the Most High and anybody can keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know.
What they're not teaching is that whosoever was the congregation that he was talking to. He wasn't talking to the whole world. He was talking to his people that was in front of him. Just like today, we're in class teaching this law, statutes, and commandments to all people. We're not talking to the whole world. Can't nobody from the other nations coming in this school. You're a white man, you ain't coming up in here. You know what I'm saying? You're a Chinese man, African man, Arab man, East Indian, you ain't coming up in here. You know what I'm saying? We teach to our people. And that's the same way it was back in the day. That whosoever that he was talking about was whosoever of our people.
Acts 2 and 20. Acts 2 and 21.
Go ahead, get that.
Acts chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
And the Christian church like to use these scriptures to say they was talking about everybody. But once again, it was talking to a nation of people. He was talking to a nation of people, his own people, the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. All through this Bible, God come only for the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Get that too? No, get that scripture. I come only.
Okay. Verse 22 says it too.
All right, bad. So we need to understand the tricks of the Christian church, man, is doing just like Martin Luther King was doing, trying to make us join other nations. That's a sin for us to join other nations. The Most High tell us not to give our sons to their daughters or our daughters to their sons. He don't want us to join other nations. We are only allowed to marry in our own nation. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians. You want to have sex with somebody, that's where it better be. Anybody else outside that nation, you are sinning against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that.
Let me go over verse 22. Verse 22. Ye men of Israel.
What?
Ye men of Israel.
Go back to the beginning.
Acts chapter 2, verse 21.
This is going to show you that when this was said, it was not said to the whole world. So whosoever was pertaining to the people that he was speaking to, he was not speaking to the whole world. So I'm saying Christian churches say one scripture and cut it off, but you got to read the rest of it. You got to get the whole concept of what's going on, man. You can't let somebody trick you by reading that one line to you and then carry it on with their own words, like the Christian church do. Read that again.
Acts chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Right.
Verse 22. Ye men of Israel.
Who?
Ye men of Israel.
Who?
Ye men of Israel.
This is who he was talking to. He wasn't talking to the whole world. He said, whosoever, ye men of Israel. Read.
Hear these words.
Hear these words, man. I'm saying he's not talking to the whole world. He's not talking to the whole world. So the Christian church is a goddamn lie teaching these false doctrines that they did, man. I'm saying we need to realize what's going on in this world and the trickery of these other nations and the people that they got working for. You know what I'm saying?
You go.
Yeah, go to it. What scripture ask you?
Matthew 15 and 24. Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
This is Christ talking. You know what I'm saying? It's real.
Come on.
This is Christ talking, letting you know that he is not coming for everybody. He is not coming to save the whole world like the line pork chop pastor preacher in the Christian church telling everybody, man. You got to read for yourself and we will understand it, man. And understand that he is not dealing with these other nations. Read it again.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Getting to the story.
To let you know that God only deals with the 12 tribes of Israel. He's not coming to save the whole world. I mean, the white man would love to be saved by the Most High, but he's going to be killed by the Most High when he comes back. He's not coming back to pat everybody on their back for destroying his people. He's coming to slaughter them. So, let me get what was that? Matthew. We get Genesis 15 and 12.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram.
Abram was later on called Abraham. Right now he is Abram because until a man Israel is taught by the Most High and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Just like our school, when we first joined the school, we have the slavery names, you know what I'm saying? But the minute we come to the school and serve the Most High and acknowledge the Most High law, statutes, and commandments, and begin to change our life, the Most High in our school, they do the same thing. They change your name, you know what I'm saying? And give you a name of your people, you know what I'm saying? This is how I became Gabar Rakar. I am no more what I was in the world. My name now is Gabar Rakar, and the names always mean something when they give them to you. My name Gabar means warrior. Rakar means spirit. You know what I'm saying? So this is how it is in our school, because we follow the same traditions as the Bible and our ancestors in this Bible. We're coming back to our cultures, man, our culture, and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, read.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo,
A deep sleep fell upon Abram. I mean, and some different texts, a deep sleep is meaning you're unaware of things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't know what's going on. That's what the children of Israel is today. We're in a deep sleep as a people because we don't know who we are in this world. We don't know we are the Jews of the Bible. We don't know we are the children of Israel. We don't know that we're God's chosen people because we are in a deep sleep. But in this text, it was meaning something different. You know what I'm saying? Read that again.
and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him.
What did that mean? He was having a nightmare.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Read.
Verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
This is the Most High telling Abram that his seed was going to be in slavery at a later time. Read it again.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
Let them know that we're going to be somewhere in a land that we know nothing about. Go ahead.
And shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
He was letting them know that we were going to go into slavery for 400 years. So he was letting Abram know that. Read.
Verse 14.
Yeah, 14.
Verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward they shall come out with great substance.
This is why the Bible is the only real book in the world. Because they got prophecies and prophesied stuff that happened way before it happened. You know what I'm saying? You know why he was telling them this?
Well, he was telling Abram.
Yeah.
Why?
He was letting them know. He was letting them know that we were going to go into slavery. You know, we went to slavery in Egypt for 400 years, and we're in slavery now. And this was in Deuteronomy, but slavery here, we went to slavery because we didn't know the value of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? We never. He gonna send us to the land to let us know how it feels to be around a people in a land with no laws, somebody with no value of life and how to do things, where everything was done wrong. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you teach your kids how to appreciate the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because now, once we in that land, we're gonna see how raw they live and how they don't care about nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we, as a people, need to know how important the laws is. So just like we was talking about earlier, you know what I'm saying? You can tell your kid not to do something, man, but they're just curious. They want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And they're not gonna, you give them an order, not to do something, but they're still curious and they'll still do it until something happens to them. And they realize why you told them not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Why you gave them that order, that law, not to do something that they wasn't supposed to do. So we was in Egypt as not because something we did, but to show us how we need to live. You know what I'm saying? And today we are going through a similar thing, but we're in America because of a punishment, because we constantly sin against the Most High. And we need to realize that we need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, so we're going to stay on the bottom. We're not in America to forget the Most High or His laws and live the good life and chase money and tail and drugs and, you know what I'm saying, the American dream. We're here to realize right from wrong, man, to realize that we need to come back to our God. We need to come back to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? This is why we are in slavery. Being a chosen people of God, we're doing the worst in the world. We're on the bottom because we refuse to obey our God and what He tells us to do. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read. What was it? You have
Verse 15.
no, drop that. Exodus 1:8.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Verse 9. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
They were scared of us, man. They were scared of us, hoping that we wouldn't join another nation and go against them, because if they did, they would lose. So they were scared of us. They know that we wasn't rolling with them. So as a people, we never wanted to roll with the other nations. We never wanted to do what they, you know what I'm saying, did or be like them. We was on our own thing, and they knew if we ever joined another nation against them, that they would be destroyed. Great.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
So they had to plot and scheme on how to deal with us, man, as a people. Go ahead.
Lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
So they were scared of us joining another nation and going to war against them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
So they were scared of us joining another nation. So, go ahead.
Verse 11. Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
They set over us taskmasters in his masters and afflict us with our burdens. It's like today, they set taskmasters over us. Our taskmasters today is the preachers. You know what I'm saying? The preachers are taskmasters. They set them over us to, trick us into doing something that we shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now sharpening me like a for
our shops and
just that.
every Christian preacher out there.
Okay.
It's the taskmasters. More taskmasters is like our rappers. You know what I'm saying? See how, for instance, Future, I'm saying, all they talk about is getting high. I'm saying, popping bodies and popping perks. You know what I'm saying? He was made to do that so he can live lavish and have a good life. That's the only way they're gonna get a good life if they do what the slave master tell them to do. And that's to further oppress their people. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do. All these so-called leaders is, I mean, like you say, Al Sharpton, I mean, T.D. Jakes, you know what I'm saying, Martin Luther King, all our sellout brothers and sisters that's working for the white man, every preacher that say they're Christian churches, you know what I'm saying, they are taskmasters, and they set them over top of us to make us do what we wasn't doing originally. We was sheep herders in the land. We was cool, we lived side by side with the Egyptians. We didn't want to mix in and do what they did. But they needed us to build their land, and, you know what I'm saying, and whatever they want us to do. So they actually set taskmasters on top of us to try to influence us to change our way of life. To become their slaves for the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
They set taskmasters over to trick us, man, and to talk us into give out, you know, we was peaceful people, you know what I mean? Sheep herders, farmers, living a comfortable life. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't out there building, trying to do the job that they wanted, but they wanted us to do the job so we could build their treasure cities, man. You know what I mean? Just like they need the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians to build their treasure cities. We built this land that we're in now called America. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes from us, man.
Right.
We are the people that built their land. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing was going on back then is going on now in America. We need to realize what's going on and come back to serving our God. And the tables will turn if we do that. They will be our slaves. You know what I'm saying? That's in the kingdom to come. They will be our slaves when they did us. You know what I'm saying? Every nation gonna be our slaves when they did us. And the white man, we're gonna render him double for what he did. And he's gonna become extinct. You're gonna have to take your kids to a museum and explain what a white man is in that day. You know, because of the crimes and the rape, rob, and murder that they did against the children of Israel, God's chosen people. God is very, very upset and angry at the white man for what he done. This is why the scriptures say, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Most I hate the white man for the wrong that he did against his children, against the children of Israel. So, anyone else?
Nah, sir. We'll go to verse 12. Exodus chapter 1, verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Exodus chapter 1, verse 11. Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And
that's what we do. We multiply and grew. No matter what. Like today, man, they trying to kill us all, knocking us up, putting us in jail cells. You know what I'm saying? Kidnapping our kids and our women. Got our women aborted, babies by the millions. You know what I'm saying? We still a strong nation. We still overpopulated now. We still multiplying. what I'm saying? Like my man said, we don't die, we multiply, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're the strongest nation out here, man. We need to realize what's going on. The craft and counsel that these other nations and the white man are putting on us, we need to fight back. And the only way we're going to fight back is coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. I'm saying we need to study this Bible, man, and realize what is going on in this world and stop loving slavery and stop loving a lie. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to love your God. You know what I mean? By serving Him in a correct way. And that's keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Let me get Exodus 3:7.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 7. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrows.
You know our sorrows. You know what's going on with us, man. Just like today, He knows what's going on with us, man. This is why the scriptures say the law was never to be done away with. You know what I'm saying? Not one job will chill, man. If we keep these laws and apply them to our life today, as in the old days, we would still, to this day, be on top. We wouldn't want for nothing. We wouldn't need nothing. We wouldn't be sick. We wouldn't be dying at a rapid rate. We would be rulers in this world. You know what I'm saying? So it's the only way we're going to come back to rulership is by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land unto a good land, and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Right, you tried that, but that was our Father God showing how much He loves us, man. He saved us from that land. He killed all Pharaoh and his army. You know what I'm saying? Every time something happened to us, man, our Father's right there. All we have to do is come back to His law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Let me get Leviticus 18:3. You gotta remember, man, the whole duty of man is to fear God and keep His commandments. And His commandments aren't grievous, meaning they ain't hard. So get it out your head, thinking that the laws are done away with. Get it out your head that you're thinking that you can keep the law. You can keep the law. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here smoking cigarettes, you just quit. It's a mind thing. If they lock you up right now and put you in jail, and you ain't had a cigarette, you would not die. You know what I'm saying? You would just want a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? But you would stop eventually because you can't get them. You know what I'm saying? Now you can go back out here and bring it or start smoking again, but you got to realize, man, it's a mind thing to stop smoking. Don't wait till the Most High make you have a stroke or asthma attack or bronchitis attack or destroy you or your lungs just collapse because you're smoking so much and die and suffer. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize the wages of sin is death, and eventually that's what's going to happen to you when you break God's law. You know what I'm saying? This is why He's telling you not to smoke, not to use drugs, because He loves you that much, trying to install that wisdom in you that you wouldn't get high and destroy your temple, man. You're supposed to keep your temple clean. The temple is your body. You know what I'm saying? So we started at a young age getting high and smoking and stuff, destroying our body, watching our elders do the same thing, and not caring, just like they don't care about what's going to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? But if we apply this law, we would know that breaking His law is death. We need to choose life.
Oh, okay. Ready for it? Leviticus chapter 18, verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
The things that we was going to Egypt, following by our gods, just like we're doing today in America, following by our gods, jumping into religion, something that God never gave us. He's telling us not to do these things, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to realize God is literally, I mean, practically warning us, but there's so many, it's like he loves his people. He begging them not to do wrong. No, don't make me kill you, son. You know what I'm saying? Keep my law, statutes, and commandments. Don't be a wicked people like these nations. You know what I'm saying? He loves us as a people, man. He chose us out of the whole world. You know what I'm saying? He chose the children of Israel, the blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians. It's something to be proud of, man. You know what I'm saying? You say you love God. You know what I'm saying? This is how you love God. By keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. Paying attention to him. Don't be the head that don't want to hear his law. Tell your scripture, man. Don't despise my law. He said, delight in his law. You know what I'm saying? Don't despise his chastisement. You know I'm saying? A good parent will chastise their kids. Man, you see your kid run on the street, you're going to spank that kid. You're going to tell your kid, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You see your kid playing with fire, you're going to tell your kid, don't do that. This is what the Most High do when he see you picking up that pork chop sounds. I made that to be the janitor of the land, man. You need that on your farm to eat the garbage and the trash. It's full of parasites. Don't eat that. This is why God tells us not to eat the pork. The same goes with the crab, lobster, and shrimp. I'm saying they are bottom feeders. They eat whatever is dead in the land, in the oceans. I'm saying if you die and float down to the bottom, that's what's going to eat your body. You know what I'm saying? These things that the white man made a delicacy. God telling you in the scriptures, man, don't eat these things. Don't eat crab, lobster, shrimp. You know what I'm saying? Because he love you, he give you orders to make you have a good life. You know what I'm saying? You know these things are short their life. So it's a good father to chastise his kids with these laws, tell them what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? But we need to realize that. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing if you had a kid and the kid don't listen to you, man. Don't show you no love, respect, nothing. It'll break your heart as a parent. This is what we're doing to our God, man. We break his heart every day, just living our life, following behind the culture of a white man or the other races. Instead of following behind God, we serve a white man as if he was our God. We serve holidays, Christmases, birthdays, which was never given to us by the Most High. What God did give us was high holy days, the Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? Passover. All these things are it's in the Bible that he gave us, man. But we pay these things no mind, and we serve a white man as if he is our God. We don't serve our God.
Now he say, if you turn it from where you hit your ear from hearing this, your prayers is an abomination.
That's right. That's why God said that. When you turn away your ear from hearing His word, your prayers are abomination. He don't even want to hear your prayers. I'm saying you make God your enemy when you break His law, statutes, commandments. That's for every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. He is your enemy when you break these commandments, man. He is the one that killed you. He is the one that put you in the hospital. I'm saying when you get sick and on the urge of death. I'm saying he's the one who killing your kids, man, because your kids are sinning and you are sinning against them. Wonder why we dying in the street at a rapid rate, because we ain't paying attention to what he gave us, the most important thing in the world, and that's his laws and commandments. So us as a people, man, need to come back to serve the Most High the correct way and stop lying, saying we love the Most High and constantly breaking His law. Numbers 33 and 56.
You said 33 and 56, sir?
Yeah,
Come on. Numbers chapter 33, verse 56. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. That's it. Yeah.
Hold on now. Good one. Got it.
33 and 56.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's it.
Come on.
Hear that again.
Numbers chapter 33, verse 56. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them.
He's our nations, and he doing to us. He punishing us instead of punishing our nations. So we living as our nation, as our God. Instead of keeping God's law, we're keeping another God's law. A God that ain't a God. The white man serving him. We need to come back to serving our God and let him punish the other nations instead of us. We get on Judges Judges 1:5.
Judges.
Sure, one. Leviticus 26:13.
26. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 13.
Another scripture letting you know how important it is to obey the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And how we got to realize that the Most High is the same God that killed the whole world for disobedience. You know what I'm saying? He killed the whole world and started over with 8 people. You know what I'm saying? So he is not joking when he tell you to hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to do all his commandments that he tell you this day. What day is the day that you hear these commandments? I mean, the day that you realize these commandments, hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep letting this go in one ear and out the other, and then making the Most High punish you. You know what I'm saying? It's an unnecessary punishment you're going through, because all you had to do when you heard this word was listen and take heed and do what he said to do. So there's no scripture to show you how the Most High is serious about his word, man. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 13. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt.
This is a God who saved us from Egypt, who split the Red Sea, who killed Pharaoh and all the people that had us in slavery and trying to harm his chosen people, the children of Israel. Read.
That ye should not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright.
We're supposed to be their slaves. You know what I'm saying? Stop that. We can stop that, man. We got to go right. Gave us laws, statutes, commandments, and for us to follow and keep. Read.
Verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments.
Give me that word again, hearken. If you don't listen, keep his commandments. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And if ye shall despise my statutes.
despise the statutes. You hate the truth. You don't want to do it. You want to listen to Pastor Porchop tell you it's okay to break these laws. You despise his truth. Go ahead.
Or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments.
He ain't say some. He said all his commandments. There ain't nothing to play with. He ain't playing with you when he tell you to do it. You can't pick and choose what you're going to do. You can't let Pastor Porchop tell you that it's okay for you to eat pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp. Read.
But that ye break my covenant. Verse 16. I also will do this unto you.
He's a man of war. He's not no hugs and kisses like the Christian church tell you he is, man. You know what I'm saying? He loves you when you keep his commandments because you love him. But he's your enemy when you break them. Go ahead.
I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague.
Say that again.
I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague.
Terror, all this fear that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Hardship that we live in, all this life, everything that we're going through that's terrible in life. This is God putting it on us, man. God do these things to us, man, because we break his laws, statutes, commandments. I mean, you think you made everything good with you, but yet you lose your grandkids and your kids and your wife and your daughter, son to the streets, getting locked up for 40 years. God punishes us in plenty of ways, man. We'll never figure it out. I mean, but what we need to do is realize that we're getting punished and hate it and try to fix it by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Watching your buddy die in your face while y'all using drugs, man. That's punishment. If you ain't died, it's a wake-up call for you to not be next. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We need to pay attention to the things that's happened to us, man, and stop thinking, oh, well, I made it, you know what I'm saying? Because we next, man. Something happened to a loved one in front of you. You're using that as an example to wake you up. I mean, to show you what could happen to you. Go ahead.
That shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart.
That thing is concerning eyes, it's called sorrow of heart. You know what I mean? It hurt to see these things, but we need to pay attention and realize the lesson in everything. It's a lesson in these things, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there and keep doing the same thing and getting spanked 1,000 times or 1,000 times over, man. Learn from the first mistake. Learn your right from wrong with the Most High. Learn how to please God. Learn how to be perfect. Read.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
So you see the man, his enemies gonna eat your kids up, man. They're gonna kill our kids right in front of our face. I mean, we had the kids for nothing, man. They was dying in the streets. We let them go. We ain't teaching them the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We need to learn how to be leaders and real parents. You know what I'm saying? And real brothers and sisters and real sons to the Most High God. And with that, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, here to show the Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians that we are the true Jews and the children of the Most High, and that we must keep these laws, statutes, and commandments to get out of this hellhole that we're in, called America, man. Wake up, Israel. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Prophet, Officer of 50, retired by. Oh, my bad, I thought I was slacking. We're gonna turn the class over, we're gonna read the security announcements. Shalom, Israel.
Security announcements. We are the Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3, verse 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced Mayashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amounts you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the memorial blowing of the trumpets, Saturday, September the 28th.
This is our holidays that we're supposed to keep, not holidays.
Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he has to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give a one courtesy salute to the teacher. Isupk, Barak, Yahaba Shem Yahweh Shabbat. Class dismissed.